for great adult children.
Awesome.
It's definitely in the community. He did run for Senate 2 years ago, it was?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. So
Let's talk about the founding of the Distinguished Gentleman's Club.
Absolutely. So about 8 years ago, you said you're a mother. So how many children?
I have 5 kids.
Okay.
they started saying that I was their African American, and they got this from our president. You know, they were voted.
So what were you doing when you were young? The first or the second time? Before the first time.
So I was in and out.
Good. Awesome. So that really is a great place to transition.
And who is sitting across from me or beside me is never going to sway that.
Listen, man. One, I'm not gonna cry on this episode.
Yeah.
I made it through all of these episodes. I think I've cried once in Congress. What are the things that you're most proud of accomplishing? You know, as a congressman and as whip.
Real Talk with ReZsaun.
Yo. What's going on? We are back. Thank y'all so much for joining me. This is Real Talk with ReZsaun, where anything... Oh my gosh. And somebody's calling me. What are y'all doing? Hello world, and welcome back to Real Talk with ReZsaun, where nothing's off limits. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you are here with me, and I appreciate that. I am your host, ReZsaun Lewis. Now, here at Real Talk with ReZsaun, everything's available, so on any given week, we can be discussing anything from sports to music to politics. You name it, we'll discuss it. Now, for those who are new to Real Talk with ReZsaun, we also have a goal of shining a light on the great things and the great people that exist right here in the Low Country. I know we talk about everything that's going on all across the world, everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. today, which I will talk about tonight. But right here in the Low Country, we have amazing people doing amazing work, and I have to stop the presses. Because tonight, I am interviewing one of my best friends, one of the best people that I know, my voice of reason, the most connector man that there is, the writer of Me, Myself, and I, new book, writer of Hidden Gems, Mr. SC Mentors. Give it up for my good friend, Samuel Bellamy.
Hey, that was a great intro, man.
You see it, right? You see what I do in this? You see what I do in this thing here, man? What's up, bro?
That sounded real official, man. Feeling all celebrity-like and stuff,
hey,
you know?
You are a celebrity, man. You are a celebrity. Please introduce yourself to the audience, bro.
That's what's up. Well, Samuel Bellamy, father, husband, brother, you know, all that good stuff. Mentor, facilitator, collaborator, trainer. I mean, you know, we hold so many hats these days. Overall, man, I'm just a regular guy trying to make some change in the community. You know, that's what can sum me up in a few words or less.
All right, word. So let's talk about, you know, let's start. I like to go all the way back and then work our way up, because a lot of people probably haven't watched the first episode where you were on. A lot of people don't know you were one of the first original Local Celebrity Spotlight guests.
Long time ago.
Long time ago. When I was using my phone.
You've upgraded quite a bit. Yeah, you've upgraded quite a bit.
A little bit, man. So please, where are you originally from? Let them know, you know, give them a little background on you, man.
Yeah, so I'm a military brat. I like to say that I'm from everywhere. We moved here. My father was Air Force. We moved here in '97. Went to North Charleston High.
Yeah.
Shout out Cougars, class of 01. The best class the Cougars have ever had. Yeah, and I left a couple times, came back a couple times, left again, came back. Then I fell in love, you know, met a girl, fell in love, bought a house, had some kids, you know.
Nice.
Yeah, the typical story.
Typical story, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, see. Oh, Miss Deborah, there she go right there. There she's like, no, you're just trying, Sam.
Miss
You're
Deborah.
doing it. Shout out to Miss Deborah.
Miss Spotlight Award herself.
Yeah. Miss Deborah, you called me right when my show started, so you know I love you, but I'm gonna have to edit some stuff out now because. Anyway, all right. So Sam, so you came from another place. You moved here. You went to the greatest high school of all time, North Charleston High School.
Yeah.
And then, so where did your journey go after high school? Did you immediately fall into your career, or was there like yeah?
God, no. Oh my
Real
goodness.
talk.
Hey, listen, when I graduated high school, so first of all, I thought I was I thought I had a plan, right? I thought I had it all mapped out. I'd gotten some trouble my senior year, kind of derailed some things. So from senior year, from 2001 till about 2005, I probably held about 40 something jobs between that period. Literally just hopping from job to job. Like it was really bad at one point. Like if you were paying me a penny more, like I was leaving. Like I legit remember you laughing, I'm serious. I legit remember I was working at some little call center or whatever, because that was the thing. Like I think I've worked at every call center that ever existed in Charleston. I remember working at one call center, and I was making like it might have been like $14, $14.50 or something like that. And I left there to go to Suncom on Daniel Island for $14.51 an hour. 51 cents an hour.
You could just ask them for the 1 penny raise.
Yeah, it was. Listen, it was a dog eat dog world out there, man. I did not have a plan. Well, I had a plan. Like I said, the plan got derailed, and I was just winging it, man. I was just out here, doing whatever. I ended up going to Millermont Tech for massage school. Did that program for about a year. So for 2005 till probably about 2010, I was a massage therapist. I used to manage Urban Nirvana in Mount Pleasant off of Long Point. So I did that for a while. I thought that was going to be a career for a minute. Then I ended up leaving there and got into healthcare. Ended up going to school. That job actually paid for my college education twice. So I got a bachelor's and a master's through that job. And and I'm still there. So decade later, still there, still pushing. Still helping seniors out here in the community through Medicare. So, yeah, it's been a wild ride.
Absolutely.
Yeah, wild ride.
So while you're on that journey, like, are you formulating this master plan? Because I know you're a very well thought out person. Are you formulating a master plan? Like, this is what's going to get me out of the game. Like, how was that process for you? Yeah.
So no, like when I tell you I was winging it, like I was really winging it, and it's funny because. I think everybody looked at me at that time and they were like, yeah, I know you have a plan. And in my mind, I didn't have a plan, but I always was able to kind of finesse the language to make it sound like I had a plan. So it looked like I always had my stuff together. But yeah, I was winging it, man. I didn't really have an official plan probably until about maybe 2011, 2012. And I've just been working that plan ever since. But prior to that, anything before 2011, oh my goodness, I was winging it.
But here you are now. So how'd you get into the mentor space? Because I know you do a lot of work with mentorship, and of course, I want you to do a little background and let them know how you got there. But like, how did you get into the mentor space? So it's funny. Like I said, I'm working for this healthcare company now, and originally I was working for Medicaid, and one of my jobs for Medicaid was to help individuals overcome the barriers that they had to their healthcare. Okay. So I was working with community organizations and things of that nature to connect them with resources to help them pay their light bills, water bills, fix housing things. And one of the barriers that always came up was young mothers and young families. They always needed something to do with their kids. Like they were always stressed about after school care or programs and stuff that they can get their kids involved. So I started researching organizations that I can refer to the clients that I was working for on the Medicaid side. And what I found out is that there were a lot of organizations out there. They just weren't very organized. Like I didn't trust a lot of them. They were very, scattered. So it became frustrating. So eventually what I decided to do was say, okay, since the organization doesn't seem to exist, I'm going to start volunteering for organizations. Yeah. Now, at this point, I'd already been
volunteering for various organizations for a while. So I gained a little knowledge and know-how. So what I did is I just started volunteering for organizations, doing anything that I could to help them, build their capacity, build their structure, help them firm up programming, anything that they would allow me to do. I was doing that. I've always had a knack of putting things together and like you said in that intro, connecting dots. Like it's always been something that came second nature to me. So that's kind of how I got started. And just volunteering with those organizations, I came across a lot of mentoring organizations that needed help. So that just became my niche. And I really just started doubling down, on that particular area. And it all started because I was just trying to help do my 9 to 5 better. Helping those individuals. And now I still do that same thing. But I'm now doing it for the Medicare side. So you'll be surprised that the same issues that I was dealing with the individuals on Medicaid, I deal with it on the Medicare side, because now those same young people that I was helping with their kids on Medicaid, I'm now helping their parents.
Wow.
Because now they're sending their kids to the grandparents. So I'm still connecting those grandparents to resources in the community that can help them navigate their health situation in a better way. And a lot of it still stems with the grandkids that they have staying with them. So still keeping me connected. So I still do that as a 9 to 5. And that was my intro into the mentoring space.
Yeah. So can you talk a little about the work that you've been doing surrounding with the between the resource connecting and even your development and capacity building efforts with local mentoring organizations and amongst the state?
Yeah. So, in the process of trying to learn how to be a better advocate for these mentoring organizations, I went on a journey myself. I started, I went to school. So I ended up getting my master's in public administration with a minor in nonprofit management. I started taking courses. I started doing trainings. I started connecting myself with other people who were doing this longer. Just learning how to put together organizations, learning how to organize a board, how to train a board, what mentors should do, what they shouldn't do. And all of those things kind of led me to being connected with Mentor, the national partnership, which is they are a national organization dedicated to closing the mentoring gap across the country. So I ended up linking with them, and they have this thing, right? They have this thing where each state, they're trying to get like a local representative for that state to kind of represent them on a local level. So that's kind of where SC Mentor started from. We are vying to become an affiliate of Mentor, to be the local connector to those national resources. So I ended up connecting with them, and it's been a long ride, a long journey. I am a consultant with them now, a technical assistance provider. So what that essentially means is that any organization, whether you are a in-school program or a community-based program or whatever it is, if there are resources that you need to help build the capacity of your mentoring program, I am a person who can assist you with that. Especially here in South Carolina, any organization that exists for youth, you actually qualify for some free technical assistance through Mentor or through the National Mentoring Resource Center. So that's something that I'm proud to be a part of. And it really just speaks to, the level of professionalism that exists in mentoring. I know some people think it's kind of like the wild, wild west. And in some cases it really is, but there actually are a lot of evidence-based practices. There's a lot of research. There's a lot of there are a lot of know-how guides, if you will, that can show you how to have greater impact and show you how to reach your outcomes a lot better. Especially when you're dealing with funding or anything like that, you actually want to make sure that you're doing things the right way, so that what you say you're going to do, you actually have a lot of processes and procedures that will help you get there. And Mentor is one of those organizations that connects you with those resources to help you do that better.
thank you, and thank you for saying that. So, and I was actually going to get to the NMRC thing, but I'm glad that you actually got there before I did. I know you mentioned earlier, the aspect of like mentorship being the Wild Wild West, but I want to open it up to even like the nonprofit sector in the Charleston area in general.
Mhm.
I know you do a lot of work with a lot of organizations. What would you say is one of like the biggest shortcomings that when we talk about grassroots nonprofit organizations? What are the largest shortcomings that you see when we look at those types of organizations?
I mean, if I just had to pick one, I would say the biggest shortcoming is everyone thinks that they need their own. I'm of the mindset that if there is somebody else that's already doing it, try to connect with them to see how you can assist them in doing it. So I think that's probably one of the biggest shortfalls. Like everybody feels like they have to have their own. And I think people underestimate what it is to run a nonprofit in general, but mentoring organizations specifically. It's hard work, and it's even harder when you have to do it by yourself. So I think that's one of the pitfalls to this particular area, because it really just takes you filling out an application to get a nonprofit. Like they don't require you to have any type of prior knowledge or education or anything like that. You really just have to fill out an application and then have patience. And so it's really like anybody can get a nonprofit. So that is the biggest downfall that I see, that everybody believes that they can do it, and everybody wants to do it by themselves.
Okay, and what is the biggest mistake that people make in the mentor space?
So I would still say everybody tries to do it on their own. So I have a lot of pet peeves when it comes to the mentoring space. I do apologize for that, but I do stand by that, and I am. I guess I should say I'm not apologetic because of that, because I really mean it. But I'll say one A, B, and C. One A is that people start mentoring organizations and they probably don't need to, because there are organizations that already exist. That includes people starting the same type of organization. For example, if there is already an organization that's working with the leadership of young people in schools, chances are, unless you're working with a different school or a different group of schools, we probably don't need another organization that's serving kids in that way. There are other types of mentoring organizations that you could start. 1B would be people who have no respect for the profession of mentoring. I'm saying profession because you don't need to be a professional to mentor. All you really have to do is care about young people and want to be invested in their lives. But once you fill out that paperwork to be a 501c3 and you're soliciting funds to run an organization, you have then become a professional in my eyes, which means you're supposed to be held to a certain standard, and you're definitely supposed to be governed to the public and responsible for those public funds. So you have people out there that just start organizations on the whim and solicit funds, and they're not the best stewards with those funds. So that's 1B. 1C would be that individuals start mentoring organizations for the wrong reasons. And what I mean by that is some people start mentoring organizations or nonprofits in general because it helps their bottom line in their taxes. Some people start mentoring organizations or nonprofits because they're trying to launch a speaking career. So it sounds good to say, hey, I'm a motivational speaker who also, has a nonprofit. Then there are other people who start mentoring organizations because they see a need, but they don't take the time to prepare on how to meet that need. So they're just going out there with all passion and not enough know-how, if you will. So those would be the top three number one things about the nonprofit space and mentoring in particular that kind of is problematic, if you will.
All right, thank you for that. That's dope. that you shared that, and I think all of those are very excellent points. Again, Sam is just for those who are tuning in. Thank you so much for watching. We are interviewing Mr. Samuel Bellamy, who's an author, entrepreneur, resource connector, and probably the person who I call the most on my phone. Except for Toya, I call Toya the most.
Right.
Sam, but yo, I probably text you more than I text Toya though.
Probably.
I probably do. All right, but so we talked about the things that you think that people that should be improved upon. What are the things that really excite you about what's going on in the mentor space right now?
Gosh, I think the fact that people are, I think people around the state are really being energized around the mentoring space. And this is even before COVID and before the CARES Act and all these things. I really felt like there was a groundswell of individuals that are seeing the outcomes that mentoring can have, seeing the impact that dedicated adults and solid programming can do, seeing what they can do for young people. I think that really excites people. And in a time and period where young people need more guidance, they have access to more resources, but they also need more guidance in utilizing those resources. I think mentoring is a great fit. So there's a lot of excitement around it. And I think helping people who are excited about helping young people is the most exciting thing for me, because I'm able to, answer questions, impart wisdom, share past and present experiences, and connect them with other people. You'll be surprised at how many connections we have to other individuals through mentoring, and that part's really exciting.
Yeah, that is really exciting for sure. So let's talk about. So you've already shown just in our short period of time talking to the audience, your vast knowledge of mentorship. Now you have this thing that you do called Rent a Sam. So I want you to talk about that on your website. I put let me put that back up. I actually put your website. So if you have, some information, if you want to find out more about this guy or purchase his books, which we're going to talk about, please go to that website on the bottom. You can see it. But can you talk about the Rent a Sam?
So it's definitely a new thing that I'm starting. I'm still developing it, but essentially what it comes down to is when individuals reach out to you for help because you are knowledgeable in a specific area. Sometimes the help goes beyond a simple Facebook message or text message question. And for those conversations, I have the Rent My Brain feature that will be on my website soon. And it's basically an opportunity for you to schedule time with me where I can sit down and, really talk with you and really figure out what it is that you have going on, and either provide resources myself or direct you to other areas that can help you a little bit better than I can. So it's not fully developed yet, but it will be a period of time where you'll be able to do that. And I'm really excited about it because, like I said, whether I see people in passing or whether people, send me messages online, a lot of times the questions are really, really detailed. And they want really, really specific information, but this will be an opportunity for me to walk you step by step through whether it's building a program or improving a program that you already have. This will be my way that I can do that in the most effective manner possible.
And can you speak to that? And I want to ask this question. If you don't want to answer the question, perfectly fine. But can you speak to why you found it important to be able to place a dollar value on that service?
Well, the first answer and the short answer will be because my wife said so.
Shout out to Tasha.
That's the first answer, because I'm the type of individual where if you ask me the right question at the right time, I will talk your head off with anything mentoring. You catch me in the grocery store and you walking with me and I'm walking with you, man, I'll build your whole program in the middle of the grocery aisle. Like it's that bad. But as my children get older, I'm realizing more and more the importance of being with them and making sure that they have my undivided attention. So this is a way for me to, one, weed out the people who are serious about their follow through, because it's one thing for you to ask a question, in passing or to shoot me a message online. It's another to say, hey, I value the information that you have. I value your time. I value your input, and I respect your family, not to pull you away for nonsense. Yeah. So I'm willing to pay for this time. And then that gives me that lets me know that you're serious, so that I can then devote all of my time and resources in that specific period of time to be able to give you the best answer, the best response possible. So again, one part my wife saying stop giving away your time for free. The other is making sure that I can really devote that time and energy to getting you solutions.
Yeah. And I think it also speaks to the fact that, like you were saying earlier, you're a professional. Like, you wouldn't ask a doctor to like operate on you and be like, sorry,
Right. Yeah.
Absolutely. I know you walking through the store right now, but could you just like operate on me real quick? Like, nah,
I got this thing on my back.
like it's right here. You just pull out the scalpel right now. But I love it. But I love that. And I will say, I'm so glad to know, I've been beneficial. I benefited from, your genius, especially in terms of mentorship and capacity building in so many different facets. I can definitely tell anybody that it's worth whatever it would cost. Like, I don't think you can charge too much for that at all. So make sure you check out the website, SamuelBellamyJr.com. To rent a Sam. I can tell you it's worth it. I always tell people, and I have to tell the story. When I first started with the Distinguished Gentlemen's Club, the first call I made was to you. And I didn't even know what you did. I just knew that I don't know if I ever tell you like the reason I called you.
No, I don't think I ever got that.
So the reason I called you was because you showed up at my 30th birthday party.
I remember
and I was
that.
like, he showed up at my 30th birthday party, and that is so cool that he showed up. I was like, I wonder if he's doing anything. He might want to mentor with me. I had no idea that you were Sam.
Right.
So like when I say you are Sam, I mean like what Sam actually is. And to those who don't understand what a Sam is, if you had you a Sam, you'd understand. But
right.
But
it's a wave.
Exactly. When you said the song, the dope song you skipped.
It's the dope song on the record that you skipped. Yeah, that's exactly it.
If you had one of those, you'd understand. So I reached out to Sam. We went to high school together. We played ball together once in a while. And I had my 30th birthday party, and Sam showed up with Tasha. And like it meant so much to me that you came. And I was like, wow, like I wonder if he's doing anything and he'd like to mentor. Now, mind you, that was like 3 years later. But you were the first person that came in my mind. So I called you, and you were like, we'll see. It's such a Sam answer.
Sounds like a Sam answer.
It's a Sam answer. He's like, we'll see. And from that time, like I really, again, have benefited like everything that I've been able to do in mentorship, everything that I've been able to, any change I've been able to make, any impact that I've been able to have has been largely influenced and impacted by your work, man. So I would advocate to anybody who's out there to rent a Sam. If you can advocate for get you a Sam. And if not, just rent Sam, and then you can pay the amount
or a fraction of the cost.
Or a fraction of the cost, or go to NMRC and do it. We'll do that anyway. All right.
Yeah,
so
absolutely,
we have a question from the audience.
Okay.
Hey, Dr. Glee, I see you. From Ms. Denise Tolbert. Thank you so much for watching, Ms. Denise. She says, "How can we get more Black men to mentor?"
So my first, I guess, response to that would be, what makes you think Black men aren't mentoring? That's the first response, because what I see is that there are lots of Black men out here mentoring. There are lots of Black men involved. What you don't see traditionally is Black men in large numbers involved in organized mentoring. So, and what I mean by organized mentoring is maybe you might not see it with a big brother, big sister type program, or even a low country youth services type program, but you do see them in AAU, or you do see them on the football field, or you do see them wrestling and all those other places. All of those places are where mentoring can happen. So when we say, how do we get Black men to mentor? My response is there are a lot of Black men mentoring. It just depends on where you're looking for them. Now, for I guess an answer that's more acceptable to Ms. Denise would be you have to engage them. What I find is that you have a lot of Black men out here that are juggling a lot of responsibilities. So whether it's work, whether it's their own family, whether it's their own legacy building things, and a lot of men, they're doing a lot of things. So as far as getting them more involved into the organized mentoring space, it's really about one, creating a program that works around that man's schedule. And what I mean by that is all mentoring doesn't have to happen at 9 o'clock in the morning. All mentoring doesn't have to happen at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. All mentoring doesn't have to happen on the weekends. So you have to engage those men in the periods of time where they're free. And this is where the different types of mentoring organizations come in at. If every mentoring organization that exists is only available on Saturday from 9 to 12, chances are you're going to miss a lot of men because those men might not be available from 9 to 12.
Yeah.
So it's about tailoring what it is that you're offering as a program and matching it to the availability of the men that are out there. Because there are a lot of mentors. There are a lot of men out there who want to be involved, but the schedules just don't match up. So this is where you say to yourself, me as a program director, how do I get more men? Well, if the men aren't available at 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday, well, maybe I need to change my programming to where we're now meeting 5 o'clock in the afternoon. I may have to tailor my programming to where we're meeting on Tuesdays or meeting on Thursdays. This is where it just takes communication. You got to find out when those men are available and then what kind of time they have. Because again, a lot of these men out here, contrary to popular belief, a lot of these men are out here doing great things. They're doing their own individual things to improve the community as they see fit and as they can. And a lot of them don't know that other opportunities exist. So you have to introduce that opportunity to them and then be flexible with it. And, if you can't reach this man, another man might be available. So don't stop there. Talk to every man you see.
I love that. She said, right, got it, thanks. Right, got
awesome.
it, thanks.
I hope I answered that.
You did. You definitely did. And Ms. Denise actually is going to be on the show next week. I think next week, Wednesday. Yeah, I think she's on next week. So
awesome.
That's dope.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah. And so the book. So you are not in addition to being a father, dope person, entrepreneur. We haven't even talked about your entrepreneurship yet.
Right.
Resource connector. You also have written a series of books. So I'm gonna walk through it because we talked about Hidden Gems the first time you came on. But can you talk a little bit more about what Hidden Gems was before we get to the other book?
Yeah, Hidden Gems was actually, it started out just being a personal project for my family. Like I wanted to create something where my kids would always be able to see us, right? My family. I wanted to create something where when we were long gone, they still had the ability to hear the words of their father. Or they would be able to share those words, with their children. So we created the book, me and my wife, we created this book basically to be an activity type book that shares witty anecdotes that we share with them often. So it's, things like, your word and your reputation mean something, right? Little things like that. We wanted to put it in the book because what I realized just from being in school is that it doesn't matter how old the book is. If it has that ISBN number, they can print a copy of the book. So I'm like, well, what better way to like mortalize the words of us and our family than to put it in the book? I also love the fact that, as you can see on the cover, that's my family. Like, we found a very talented artist out of New York to basically turn us into cartoon people. So even as my children walk past the book and they've seen it thousands of times, but they're always amazed, that's them, right? So they see themselves and they know that it's them and they're proud that it's them. And they know that that's us as parents and they know what we're saying. So, maybe when we're long gone and they're telling their children about who their grandparents were, they'll refer to this book and say, man, this was them. And these were the things that they tried to teach us. And these are the things that we're trying to teach you. So that was the original purpose of that book. Somebody else caught wind of it and they were just like, hey, how can I buy this? So we just made it for sale. Like it wasn't even, not a lot of thought went into, the selling and the production of the book in that way. It's just one of those things that we did on the whim.
And it's a really dope book. My daughter, I remember when we got ours at home, and my daughter was like, "Daddy, we got to do a page every day." So we literally did a page every day, and like it was a great opportunity to build and grow and just spend that family time together. So thank you for writing that. So let's talk about your second book, Icebreakers. We're going to pull that one up. What is Icebreakers?
Yeah, so Icebreakers is an ebook. This is a period of time when I was doing a lot of mentor training, and going to a lot of trainings, and what I realized is that most of these trainings, they sucked. Most of the trainings were not good. Like the facilitators were just all about giving you the information and going home. Mm-hmm. So Icebreakers is actually a book about icebreakers. Like when you're with the group, when you're with kids, how to break the ice with them, so that you can give them information. Because one thing I know about kids is that they don't learn from people they don't like. So first and foremost, let me get you on my side. Like, let me have some fun with you. Let me know that even though your teacher or your parents or whoever dragged you to this thing that you didn't want to come to, now that you're here and now that I have your attention, let me show you why I'm different. Right? Let me show you why I'm invested in you. So Icebreakers is all about breaking that ice with young people in small group settings and in large group settings. And consequently, it works well for adults as well. Mm-hmm. I've done several trainings where I've pulled out some of these icebreakers, and man, the adults go just as crazy for them as the kids do. Yeah. So it's a great book if you're any type of trainer or facilitator and you're looking for something to change the atmosphere other than the, raise your hand if you're from South Carolina, or, draw this stick and tell me one thing about you, or like the Skittle game or something like that. Answer 2 questions about you with the red Skittles, that type of thing. So if you're looking for something different and something unique, something fun, something fresh, Icebreakers is where it's at. Also in that book, there's a list of conversation starters for teens. I often hear, that they can't get their teens to talk, or they don't understand how to, open communication with their young people that they're working with. So there's a series of questions in there. I think there's about 30 or so questions that I've used in the past that are great ways to introduce conversations, difficult conversations, to young people. And that's what Icebreakers is about. So if you're any type of facilitator, trainer, or anything like that, I highly recommend getting that book. I wish I would have came out with a virtual Icebreakers. If I would have known COVID was going to happen, bam! I would have came out with something for the virtual meeting.
Not too late.
Not too late, right? Yeah. Right. Because
don't steal his idea. If I see somebody come with a virtual Icebreakers book next week, I promise you,
right. So yeah, if I was thinking, I would have done that. But that's what Icebreakers is about.
For sure. And I can even say, like, attest to the fact that, like, I remember I did a speaking engagement at Dorchester District 2 teacher opening last year, and I pulled out a couple of the Icebreakers, and they went off, man. Like, we did the dancing one, and we did the paper, rock, scissors, and like it went in. So trust me, it works. I've tested it. I'm not the type of person to just tell people, things without, first, testing it for myself. So for sure. So finally, the latest book, Just Meme, Myself, and I.
Yeah, the latest and greatest, right? This is my latest project that I'm really proud of. And again, I have to shout out 2 people. One, my wife, again, who was like on me constantly about creating something like this. And I was just like, nah, it's not that serious. It's just, just a little something, so on and so forth. And also a young lady named Crystal Rouse. She inboxed me not too long ago and was just like, hey, so are you working on it? And I was like, I'm working on it, kind of like brushing it off or whatnot. And between her and my wife, those were the 2 voices in my ear just saying, hey, you need to go ahead and do this. So I finally told my wife, I said, hey, I'm finally listening. Like, I'm going to go ahead and work on this. So this is a project that I guess is about 4 years in the making now. 4 years ago, what I did is if you were here at the beginning of the conversation, we talked about how before 2011, my life was just like all over the place. So once I got myself together and got myself a plan, part of that plan included personal development, and I wanted to become a better version of myself. So what I started doing is leaving positive messages for myself on Facebook, and I use the hashtag Let's Work. And I use the hashtag Let's Work because becoming a better version of yourself is hard work. And I don't think people understand how difficult it is to tackle your own demons, how it is to get over your own fear. All of those things, it leads up, leads to the work. So use the hashtag Let's Work. And it was really just so that the following year, I can see these days and I can remind myself about things that I've overcome from the year previous. Yeah. What ended up happening is, so many messages resonated with other people that I just kept doing it. So it started out with Let's Work. Then it went with Let's Work Harder. Then Let's Work Intentionally. And now it's Let's Work Strategically. Yeah. And every year, it's kind of I just change the last word. It's really the word that I'm using to motivate myself for the year. And that's how I came up with the book. It's just a compilation of some of those memes that I used and the words of wisdom that I either told myself or that I received from other elders and other individuals that kind of helped me along my journey. So the book is set up just like that. It's a message about how to overcome a specific mindset. And then it's followed by a quick meme. So it's like, I'm saying all of this, but the short version is is this.
Yeah.
So that's how it started, and I'm really, really proud of this one. Like I said, because it's probably the first project that I've actually done where I didn't know if it was going to be a success. It's one thing for people you love and people that know you to say, hey, you can do this, so on and so forth. But it's another to have individuals that you don't know as intimately put so much faith and support in anything that you do. And that's what I saw with this project where, I literally sold out of the book, the first time around and had to reorder, which was something that I was really surprised of because it wasn't a small order. Like the first order that I placed wasn't small. So the fact that it sold out so quickly, I was blown at the level of support and just the community that I've built to the point where anytime that I miss posting a morning message, like I'll get messages, people asking me if I'm okay or, where am I at? and that's when I really realized like, oh, I have something here. And now I find it to be my duty to keep that up. Whether it's for myself, it's for other people. It's really about being a better version of yourself. And that's really what this book is about.
Yes. So I'll tell you that the way I read it, because I know the way you say you did it, but the way I read it is I always read the meme first. Then I read the message and then I read the meme again.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's like a recap for me. So
yeah, that's a good way.
Yeah. So and like I said, and I don't know when you guys order, when you go to SamuelBellamyJr.com and order yours, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but I read them. I keep them like in my bathroom, and I read one a day, and it's like my thing for the day. And I also because I'm a friend of Sam, I'm an FOS. Because I'm a friend of Sam, the posts that you talk about, the Let's Work posts, like those are part of my morning motivation, like every single day. Yeah. So if you go to my timeline, every single day you see I have jewels, and my first one is always from Sam because like the dude's just like a wealth of wisdom in one person. And he's definitely one of the people that I think is one of the most underrated people in our state, if not the country. Seriously, and
wow,
they're you can't say too many good things about Sam, and I've said a bunch of good things about Sam. So
I appreciate you.
Hey, you already know, man. So
check is in the mail.
Hey, you already know what it is. You know the address. Where does this all lead long term? Where does all this stuff that is become Samuel Bellamy, like where does this lead long term?
So the long and short of it for me is freedom, right? Whether it's financial freedom or just the freedom of time. One thing that me and my wife are very, very cognizant of is the ability to control our time. So one day whether I'm writing books or whether I'm training or whether I'm helping individuals put together mentoring programs, my goal is to have control of my time. Like COVID has really opened my eyes to that fact that it's very, very important to have some control of your time. I couldn't imagine what it would be like with my children needing my help, during the day, navigating, this virtual school situation, and me telling them that I can't help you because I have to go to work, or I can't help you because I have all of these other things to do. So my ultimate goal is freedom and the ability to control my time. And again, like I said, whether that's me gaining more financial resources or just me being being able to control my time in terms of, if I have less debts, I don't need to work as hard. So, all of those things are very, very important to me, and that's where I hope all of this leads. And my path to get there right now, again, is through these books, through these trainings, but more importantly, through helping other individuals realize the impact that they can have through quality mentoring programs. So that's my main focus, whether I'm doing it for myself, whether you're renting my brain, or whether I'm doing, TA work for other organizations, or whether I'm just, consulting, school districts, whatever it is. My ultimate passion and ultimate goal is to be able to control my time, is to be able to say, no, I can't do this right now because my son wants to play remote control cars, or no, I can't go with you right now because me and my daughter have an ice cream date. Like that to me is like the ultimate goal of anything, is to be able to say that and do it on my own terms. So that's what I hope to accomplish.
I love that. Once again, that's just Sam, man. This is literally just Sam. And the crazy thing is, like, this is sort of a conversation that we'd probably have even if the camera wasn't going on. So this is just
real talk. Yeah.
I really appreciate it. Anything we didn't cover that you want to make sure we go over?
So I only have one thing, one piece of news, and I see Jay in the comments. Jay, I would love to help you write your book. Reach out to me. You know how to get in contact with me. I would love to help you out with that. The one thing that I do want to share with everybody that I have not shared, I did receive a piece of news that I'm going to, unveil to you guys. No one else has seen this yet, so you guys are like the first ones to see it, right?
You to scream, my brother.
I don't know if you can see this. I did receive a proclamation from Mayor Tecklenburg establishing January as National Mentoring Month. They recognized the work that we were doing with SC Mentors to connect resources to everyday communities. The claps. So yes, that's the newest piece of news. I'm really excited about that, and I can't wait to do more. And I think if there's anybody out there that wants to connect with me, whether it's to help you build a program from scratch or help you increase the capacity of a program that you already have, I will be more than happy to assist any way possible that I can.
If you go to
Samuel Bellamy Jr.
SamuelBellamyJr.com and go to Rent My Brain. I will even show y'all, because I don't want Tasha killing me saying, "Hey, ReZsaun,
we don't want Tasha killing us."
You had Sam on your face and you didn't even advertise. All right,
you don't want those problems.
You don't want those problems. So it's right here. All you go to Rent My Brain. All right. And then you'll be able to find what, like right there, one-on-one coaching, business development.
Right. Yep. So just shoot me an email, contact me through there, or if we're Facebook friends or whatnot, or if you're Facebook friends with ReZsaun, however you can get in contact with me, just reach out. I promise you that I'm a friendly person. But if you contact me about mentoring stuff, just know that I'm no nonsense when it comes to that. I mean it with the bottom of my heart. I mean it. I'm so sincere with it. I believe that young people are the best thing in the world. They come to us loaded with potential. And my job as a person who helps create programs and a person who helps train mentors is I'm trying to make sure that adults don't rob these children of their potential.
Right.
Like that's the goal. So whatever we need to do to make that happen, that's my goal. So if you reach out to me about some mentoring stuff and you don't have your stuff together, or if you're not ready to hear the truth, or if you just want me to go along to get along, like I'm not that person. So you're gonna have to contact somebody else for that, because I'm a fierce protector of young people. I believe in their potential, regardless of your race, color, creed, whatever it is. I believe in young people, and I want adults to believe in young people. And if you desire to work with young people, I need you to come correct with it, because a lot of times these young people, they've already been let down.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they don't have too many chances. They're not cats. They don't have 9 lives. They're already dealing with a lot of stuff just with this COVID situation. You see what these young people are dealing with. They don't have time to follow up with flaky adults or adults who are trying to do this for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
So if you're that individual, don't reach out to me, because I'm not that person.
Or me.
Yeah, we're not going to hold hands on that, and we're not going to mince words when it comes to that. So if you are truly, truly passionate about the outcomes of young people, reach out to me. I would love to help you. And you don't have to have a 501c3. I don't care if you're the candy lady in the neighborhood. Let me help you. Let me help you figure out how to get more resources so you can serve more people in your neighborhood. That's really the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah. That's Samuel Bellamy, dog. I'm telling y'all, this guy here is aces, man. Like aces. Like I said, I could not say too many good things about this guy and not in like consider it being a lie or anything, because you just dope people. And when you have dope people, you try to make sure that they know how dope you think they are. How can they find you, Sam?
So again, SamuelBellamyJr.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook, Samuel Bellamy, IG, Samuel.Bellamy Jr., SC Mentors. Those are all the places you can connect with me. Through ReZsaun, through my wife Latasha, who's watching. She's awesome.
Shout out to
She's
Tasha.
amazing. Shout out to Latasha.
She's right there. True.
Yes, that's her. That's her. That's her.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. You already know what time it is.
I appreciate you.
Already know. And I want to thank everybody for watching. Listen. 2021 is underway. I'm excited about this year. I'm excited what we're going to be able to do this year. I'm actually kicking off this week with 3 episodes. So Monday I had Ms. Joy Campbell. I served with Joy. Tonight I have Mr. Samuel Bellamy of SE Mentors and everything else that he does. And on Friday I have Ms. Rachel Sims Webb, who is a phenomenal singer. I found this lady on Clubhouse. She was singing and she was auditioning for the role of Dina on the play Dreamgirls, and she blew it out the water and she got the role. So I cannot wait for Friday to talk to her. Please tune in. It's going to be a special time. We'll be on at 4 o'clock on Friday instead of the normal time. And I have a special surprise guest host. My daughter Isis is going to be guest hosting with me. So
Yay!
Interviewing Miss Rachel Sims Webb. If you are doing something in the community that you would like a light shined on, please reach out to me on my website. That's www.realtalkwithReZsaun. I would love to bring you on. There's nobody too big, nobody too small. Please, if you're doing something, I want to shine a light and amplify your voice and your message and your work. This and all my shows, in addition to the Car Carnival series, is now available for your listening pleasure via Apple, Google, Spotify, and any place you can find podcasts. You can also find it on our website. That's www.realtalkwithReZsaun. If you'd like to be made aware of when I go live, because sometimes it is unscheduled, please be sure to click the follow or subscribe tab on the page and ring the bell so you'll get notifications when something new is posted to the page. In the meantime, please follow me on social media to stay up to date with what's happening with Real Talk with ReZsaun. Anywhere you go, type in Real Talk ReZsaun, I will pop up. If not, I will never be there. I can promise you that. Feel free to leave comments, questions, or whatever else you'd like to say in the comment section or the message section. I love reading your messages and getting your feedback, even when it's negative. I would also appreciate it if you love this to leave a 5-star rating on my podcast or leave a review on my Facebook and YouTube channel. In closing, thank y'all again for watching. Thank you to Samuel Bellamy. Thank you to everybody who took the time out to do this. There's a million other things going on, and you decided to take time to watch this, and I do not take that for granted. But always remember that God is everything, and without him, we are nothing. So never forget where your help comes from. Because if a man doesn't stand for something, he's bound to fall for anything. Now that is real talk. See y'all next week on Friday this week. Peace.